Fran, you knew this was probably going to be a night where there was going to be a big crowd. Your team was going to have to bring their own bit of energy to get going. How would you assess their ability to do that tonight?
Well, I thought they were amazing, but I will say this. I was impressed with the crowd. You know, I mean, you drove here, I drove here. I mean, it's bad. I mean, it's as bad as I've seen. I thought it was going to be like the COVID crowd. You know, I don't even know if they let you guys in back then, but you know, it was only really small, and you really had to create the atmosphere, and it was all created by the guys on the bench. But we had the band, and we had the people that came. They were fired up, and they made an impact. So I was really pleased with that under the circumstances. And but you are right. I mean, the energy level right at the start was crucial. We get a big lead, then we had a little scoring drought. It's a really good team we beat, incredibly well coached, and you knew they were going to come back, and they did. But then we had another spurt, and I thought, you know, our zone was really good to us, obviously, coming down the stretch.
Tony with 15 assists, I mean, what was he doing?
Yeah, you know, you look at him, and obviously he's a terrific player, and we have sort of, I don't know, thought long and hard. Okay, do we want to give him the ball, or do we want to let him, you know, rip and drive out of the two guard, get out on the break, throw it ahead to him, let him attack, and kind of let him go get buckets and go make plays, you know, from that position. And I just felt like he's a guy that you can give him the ball, and you can trust him to run your offense, and he understands the game. And I think we've all seen him grow in that position. When I put him in the starting lineup 2 years ago, you know, we put Bohannon back at the point, so he didn't have that pressure. And then he always had Connor with him, and that was a factor. But I said, look, man, I'm giving you the ball, and you know, let's go. And he is one competitive guy, and I'm really proud of him. 15-2, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. What is just working for you guys right now? And why do you think things are clicking?
Well, we're a very unselfish group. You know, you think, okay, 30 assists on 35 field goals, but what that means is we're moving the ball and finding open people. Made 15 threes. We got, you know, I've always said we have really good shooters. Sometimes you don't shoot it well, and that happens, but you're not going to shoot it well if you don't get open shots. And we moved the ball and shared the ball and got open shots.
What was the key to kind of getting them to play kind of your style of game here?
Well, I think the start of the game and continuing to push the ball, they're pretty tough when they stack their defense. So if you walk it up and let them stack their defense, they're hard to score on. They are. And so we try to get as much free-flowing action in transition as we could.
Talk about the night by Josh Dix. Hit some big shots, I think 5 threes tonight.
He was spectacular in every facet. I mean, he plays the point, he plays the off-guard position, he can play small forward, he rebounds the ball, he really is a good defender. He is one tough guy. Yeah, I've been saying I got to find more playing time for him, and I did. And unfortunately, it was at the expense of some other people who I also want to find playing time for. But he was absolutely spectacular.
Is there an update on Patrick?
It wasn't a good one. He's in a training room right now. You know, we'll see how he feels tomorrow. Try to, you know, get the ice on it right away, keep it elevated, and try to keep the swelling down if we can.
Is it ankle?
His ankle, yeah.
He was good. I mean, he did a lot of good.
He was really good. His energy level at the start of the game at both ends was terrific. He did get gassed, so that's when I went to Dix first and got him out of there. But every time I put him in, he was effective. You know, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He had some really nice passes, but he also got out of the break and got some buckets for us when we needed it.
You guys started 0-3 in the Big Ten. Now you're almost at 500. How do you feel like you guys have been able to kind of weather that?
We just stayed the course. You know, we lost to really good teams. You know, obviously losing out Purdue, at Wisconsin, 2 really good teams. At Michigan, they're a handful. We didn't play great against them, but we learned a lot. And I think that's what you have to do. You go 0-3. What did you learn? What do you have to correct? And how can you get better? And we did.
How rare is 3 double doubles for your team?
It's very rare. you know, but again, 6 guys in doubles, with 3 guys with double-doubles, that's typically going to equate to a victory.
Owen misses the dunk, but pretty much everything else seemed to.
He didn't miss much else. Yeah, I thought, you know, for a freshman, you know, his feel for the game, his feel for the flow, and every game is different, as you know, and he impacts the game at both ends. You know, for the most part, he's been able to stay out of foul trouble, which is not often the case for young big guys. You know, they get over anxious, and especially guys that are shot blockers like he is. But we need him on the floor.
All right, thanks,
Thanks,
sir.
guys.